This is northern white cedar. Northern white cedar. Now you have eastern red cedar, so you got to remember your compass directions and your colors. People start getting creative, like northern red and western white and eastern white and all these things. So it's northern white cedar and eastern red cedar. They are not that closely related at all. Okay, they do both have scale-like foliage. You know, you look at this and you go, "Is that like one giant leaf there?" Well, no, it's several hundred little scale-like leaves glued all over the twig. And in this case, they are displayed in very flat foliar sprays, they call them. So it's, you know, if you took like eastern red cedar and pressed it with an iron, you know, and somehow it magically stayed green and all, you could maybe get this. So they're smashed and flat. They're very two-dimensional. That's a great way to identify it. Another way to identify it are these little cones. They look like little wooden tulips. There's some here. There's lots of them up in there. They actually have a little cone. So does an eastern red cedar, but it looked like a berry. It was bluish. They actually call them juniper berries. They're not. They're cones, but they don't look like a cone. This looks like a cone. And it's probably the littlest cone you'll get on any tree we've got. It's pretty little. Okay, so here, let's pass that down. Last person, get rid of that. This is native. Now, if you get your range map there, you look at it and go, it is? Well, there's tiny, if you have a big enough size, there's tiny little dots in the state of Virginia. And we're in one of the dots. In fact, right outside of Blacksburg, it's in Blacksburg city limits, there's a creek called Cedar Run. It runs along Ellett Road. And that Cedar Run is because of this tree. These are growing along either side of it. And there's a Cedar Run housing development out that way. They named it Cedar Run because it's up above this. And there's northern white cedar there. It's up along the New River on occasion. It likes to grow in limestone. But it's not common here, but definitely it's native here. It's around. Where you really see tons of it, quite literally, is up in Ontario, across the Lake State regions. You can get large expanses of this thing growing all over. They, like eastern red, they grow very columnar-like. One difference in their form is these will very commonly have several trunks, 2 or 3, growing up near where they're splitting from the ground up. Where eastern red cedar just about always has one single trunk. So this probably 50% of these as we go down have multiple trunks. Every now and then one of them's got just one. So that's pretty common. Who has ever heard of arborvitae? Okay, who knows French? Anybody? What do you know what arborvitae means? What?
Tree.
What?
I know arborvitae means tree.
Okay, tree. So we got tree. Vita. Vitae. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Oh, I never see it.
It's tree of life.
Oh.
Yeah. It means tree of life. And what the story is when some Jacques Cartier, a French explorer, when he landed up in the Quebec area, he and everybody on the ship were nearly dead from scurvy. That's the thing. You need limeys, you need limes and lemons, right? And lack of vitamin C. And the Native Americans just probably thought they were a bunch of knuckleheads, because they just quickly brewed them up some tea made of this foliage and had them drink it. They got all their vitamin C they needed then, and to them it saved their lives, and they called it the tree of life. If you go to a nursery, they're almost always called arborvitae when you go buy one as an ornamental. You ask for an arborvitae, that's what they pretty much call them.